Hey, what's up, Toby? We made it to Process Debt episode number 35.
Giddy up.
We made it, half to 70. I don't know what that means. It doesn't mean anything. But today,
It is half
we are
70. It's not a prime number. There's a lot
know.
of things about 35. 35 was a good age, actually.
I know. I'm happy we made it past half a year. That was big news. All right, today's topic.
Yes.
Your productivity system is lying to you.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
I like this. Last week we were talking about a lot of heavy throughput and how more input does not create more bandwidth.
Yep.
So I like this, picking up a little bit off of where we were at.
Yeah.
What is your productivity system? Do you have a personal system? Like, how do you measure your productivity?
It is difficult because I live in multiple areas.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's actually a lot harder than you would think to have something that's global.
Yeah.
Right. So I could be in Jira.
Okay.
I could be in AHA, which is a product management software.
Yeah.
I could be in Obsidian, which is my note-taking software. I could write stuff down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I could, let's see, where else do I put stuff?
Well, how many other hundreds of hours does it seem like you spend in meetings through Slack and email and all of the peer exchanges, face to face?
Outlook. I hate Outlook.
It feels like the score for productivity has to be system agnostic, because we are going to most of it spread ourselves across half a dozen systems, and then kids hitting us up on Snapface and spouses, sending us to grocery stores without a complete list.
Correct. And yet, what do we do as humans?
Yeah.
We want more.
Yeah.
We want more productivity. More.
Is more.
Yeah. And where does that lead us?
So this idea of it's lying to you, how do you, let's step back from a specific system, because I think you're right. Any singular system is incomplete. So it's going to give us only a partial score. How do you, what are some examples of coming away from the day having felt productive? What is it that gives you that sense of success, or you felt like it's been a day well spent?
When I just do some work that I really want to do or feel proud of, that's the best. But you know where I start my day is oftentimes my task list. You know what saps my joy more than anything else in the world? My damn task list.
So what do? I slap myself with it every morning.
Oh,
yes.
But the question is, like, I don't think I'm alone there.
No.
I don't think I'm alone thinking I kind of froze there a little bit, because it's just such an interesting thing to think about, which is why do I do what I do, Toby? Why? Why do I wake up? Why do I start with tasks?
Oh, we could have an army of therapists working on you, Chris, trying to figure out why you do it. Yeah, well, but think about too, when you get together with friends or when you're sitting with colleagues, oftentimes it is like exhaustion Olympics. Oh, I only competed in 4 events and came in first in only 1.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's too bad. I competed in 12 and I failed them all. Sometimes we're comparing overwhelm, and it's not about productive. It's just about exhaustion. And I there's a social pressure around, am I doing enough?
Yeah, but does it work? And I don't think it works.
I don't think it serves us. I love that you call it out, because it is frustrating. It's another flavor of keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
How come the bags under your eyes are evident? Oh, it's because I don't have secret face cream to hide the endless overwhelm, But I love that you're calling this out. All the things that should bring us joy, instead we start in the wrong place. Maybe we start with our task list, or maybe we start with laying in bed thinking, every minute that I hit snooze, I could be doing 2 or 3 things that don't matter to me, but I think somebody else wants.
Yeah. Like, okay, so let's go back. Let's just play a little mind game. Let's go back 100 years, right? Or let's go back 500 years, right?
A vast.
You wake up and you probably don't think, I'm going to go check my mailbox or something like that. Like, I can't even relate to what it would be like.
Yeah. I mean, that first thing in the morning is like, now I've got to at least pull on my shoes to go outside to pee, and how far away from the house. How many
Correct.
times did I get up in the middle of the night and not get eaten by wolves? As I
I've got to go get some wood to start a fire if it's cold, right?
I've got to feed the animals. I've got to break the ice off of the water pump if I have a pump 500 years ago.
But it also wasn't probably a rush.
Well, yeah. It's really interesting question, right? There
was probably a rhythm to it, right? Like harvest season would have been crazy. Like there would be pressure there because you've got to go and, thresh the wheat or whatever you're doing.
Totally. Well, I think,
and then
you make an interesting point. Like there's the agrarian life, but even as you were saying that, it made me think, what if I'm a cobbler and I know that Sir Chris is coming in for his bell bedazzled shoes today, and I haven't applied the bells yet. I wonder how much of that social pressure is very social, because most of us work in a social context, versus independent, where our time was our own. And in that agrarian world, the only person that suffered was us, or maybe our spouse or our children, those that immediately relied on us for food, water, shelter. But they didn't have email. So it's not like Sir Chris is coming for his fancy shoes at 9 a.m. Sir Chris is showing up whenever in the hell he wants, and I better have those shoes ready. Yeah, that's interesting. So was I productive? Did it mean that everything was done before I went to bed?
Yeah, it's just interesting, right? So like, and the funny thing is, like, what got us here was basically all that. I think you're right. All of that social pressure, to perform, and then at certain times and places, like, it gets to be too much.
Yeah, I think
like
the cobbler kids have no shoes, right? And so each day when I go into my, I don't know how I decided I was a cobbler 500 years ago. Maybe that's an innate desire that I want to live out. But, perhaps the simple question was, what is that most critical next thing that I deliver?
Yeah.
And if you're going to pay me 5X for your fancy shoes, Sir Chris, then I'm going to prioritize that. And it becomes abundantly clear that nobody else is going to pay me the same as that next output.
Yeah.
And so my prioritization schema got very straightforward. My kids can run around barefoot. And at this point, their feet are probably like leather, playing soccer with I don't even know. A rock on cobblestone.
That's funny. So all right, we're going to bring it back to productivity.
Good.
Like, let's talk about
priority.
Cal Newport, right?
Yeah.
So I talked about that book, Slow Productivity. Very, very, very good. He talks about, he basically has 3 different things, which is do fewer things.
Okay.
Right. That's very difficult to do, but I think we actually have more agency than we think there.
But that's
work at a
okay.
Yeah. Work at a natural pace.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you think, what we're really good at human beings, I'm totally going to be sarcastic here. Predicting time. We are terrible at it. He literally is like, take a good guess and then times it by 2, because that's reality.
Yeah.
And then, his third tenet was just obsess over quality. So do fewer things, work at a natural pace, and obsess over quality. Do you think that's possible?
The hardest one is a natural pace. I think of those things. Fewer things, I can do that. So I may have a task list when I went to bed.
Yep.
But maybe I start out and I say, if I only do 3 things off my list, what is the first of the 3 things that makes it feel like it was a good day?
Yeah.
That part makes sense to me. And the quality piece we were talking about last time, AI generates a bunch of crap. You've still got to edit it.
Sure.
So I love the quality, but the natural pace is interesting.
Doesn't it sound like attractive?
It does.
Like the ability to do whatever it is, write an email, do a PowerPoint, do a presentation, but to prep for it at a natural pace.
Yeah.
Not rushing. Like that to me is like super attractive. The other thing that he differentiates is working on projects, not tasks. And so a project is something that you can do within like not in a single setting.
Okay.
So it could be, writing a book, could be anything. It's more of a long-term thing, whereas tasks are separate. And I think we don't do a good job of separating the two because they both create the same amount of stress. Even if one takes 15 seconds and one takes 15 months, like we don't differentiate those well as humans.
Well, the distinction you make too about focusing on a project versus a task is we inherently give ourselves permission to not eat the whole elephant today.
Yeah.
Yep. We acknowledge it in a different way, and it gives us a little bit of latitude for shifting focus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and last week I talked a little bit about being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm working on is doing one thing per day, like one project per day. And I think in our minds, we try to do 10 different things.
Yes.
Or we do a project in 9 tasks and our brain doesn't know the difference because we don't have rituals to actually take care of the tasks.
Yeah.
And so some of the things I've done in the past, which I probably should do again, which is like, don't leave your email on. Turn Teams or Slack off.
Yeah. Turn off those notification buzzers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you can just focus and do quality work.
Well, I know you and I have talked at different times too about literally putting a block for focused work on our schedules.
Yeah.
And how freeing that can be.
Yeah.
I had what should have been 20 minutes of work last week, and I blocked out my afternoon.
Really?
Yeah, because I'd passed out some Calendly invites, and I thought, oh, shit, I'm structured such a way that somebody could slam in 2 hours, because I want to be available.
Yeah.
I just need that time today. And I hadn't really thought about it until we were just talking now that there was a certain permission to get those things done. And I didn't get just the 20 minutes of work done.
Yeah.
I did the things that were adjacent to them because I had given myself the grace to think about, if I clean this up upstream, it makes my downstream work simpler. Or I solve it once instead of always correcting it.
Yep.
The natural pace is interesting. So I love that idea. To find your natural pace, give yourself permission to focus on one family of work instead of a myriad of discrete tasks. It's not satisfying to check boxes. Turn off all the little notifiers and joy buzzers. What else, as we're talking about just leaning into this, what else helps bring about that natural pace?
I think, first of all, I just finished the book, so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it really has an impact. And I think that might be one of those books where you look back and you're like, oh, that was actually really helpful because it changed my actions.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it gives me more agency in what I do in a given day and gives me permission to go and find the actual outputs.
Yeah.
And also gives me permission to say, look, I've got these projects. And if you want to inject stuff, we talked a little bit last time about push versus pull.
Right.
If you want to push something into my world, these are the things that you're going to have to move the deadlines on.
Right.
And so I think what Cal Newport does a really good job is just explaining, like, if you can have those projects and say, hey, look, this is going to take a week. This is going to take a week. And if you inject this, I would love to get to it, but it's going to be in 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks. I'll update you if that changes. Oh, and by the way, here's the information I need to get started. Once I get that information, I will put it in my backlog. And I think that was one of the creative things that I thought was really good, which is like, look, I'm not going to start until I can start.
Yeah.
And what happens at least in my emails a lot, it's, here's the thing. Okay, here's another thing. And here's another thing. And then what I've done, which I don't know if this is smart or not, but I basically schedule a lot of meetings because it just basically time blocks my calendar and it works okay. Yeah. But if I could start saying, hey, look, I can't do this until X, until you get me X.
Yeah.
And then you just become a bit of that like annoying jerk in the corner that's like, look, you can't start anything with Chris until he has all this stuff. Right. And the hard part is like, I don't want to be that guy, but like, again, it's probably better than my productivity system that's lying to me.
Chris, that what you just described sounded like really healthy boundaries, you know? And there's a phrase that was shared with me a couple years ago that clarity is kindness.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people try to be nice.
Yep.
Which looks like accommodating.
Yep.
But to be kind is also to be so clear. And
Yep.
so those boundaries make it abundantly clear that it is not your next priority. It's not going to start just because they dropped it in your lap.
Yep.
So I think that's, I love adding that to the, how do you get to your natural pace? It's also setting some of the boundaries that you can live within.
Well, and
So
giving
that's good.
yourself permission to work.
Yeah.
Like no one is waking up from retirement thinking, God, I wish I miss my emails. If only I could have 4 hours of meetings that didn't get anything accomplished. Like people just don't think that.
No.
You're like, look, if only, like you're going to think about those high moments in your career where you did something really cool, but you're not going to be thinking about meetings. You'll be thinking about the people. You'll be thinking about the impacts that you made with the quality work that you did.
That's right.
And yet we shortchange ourselves. And I know that we all do this. And I know this because everybody's like, well, that could have been solved in a meeting. You're like, look, no one's solving that problem. We just like to say that.
Yeah.
Because we like to be victims of our own stories.
The crazy storytellers in us and around us.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that, I'm glad you finished that. Thanks for the book recommendation. Also, we're kind of stepping into this from a process.
Yeah.
A lot of our debt is our own making. And if we can avoid it to begin with, it's less debt to dig out from beneath.
Yeah.
So.
All right, man. Let's catch you next week.
All right. Thank you, bud.
Bye.